Well, hey everybody. My name is Ben Byxbe, and this is Joshua Kirkpatrick, and together we are the Revenex podcast team. This is episode one, and we thought we'd spend a little bit of time just talking together about what is this podcast? What do we want this to be? What are we talking about? Why should you keep listening? Which we hope you will. Actually, we'd love for you to subscribe to the channel so that all the episodes that we're about to start dropping hit your inbox, they get in your feed. You can learn from the people that we're going to interview. Joshua, I'm pretty excited about this idea
Me
because
too.
we're going to interview a bunch of people every week. We're going to interview somebody, and sometimes the person we're interviewing is a master at their craft. They are crushing it online. They've figured out the magic sauce, and we're just going to sit and glean from that wisdom and try to figure out how to apply it. And then some weeks we're going to interview people who haven't figured it out and they're willing to tell us that and be honest.
And I don't know about you, but I definitely resonate with the latter because I mean I made some mistakes myself with marketing efforts and entrepreneurship, and I'm like, "Ah,
Man.
I would have only thought through that more. If I would have had a little bit more wisdom or gold nugget or something like that that could have helped me out there in that situation, that would have been great."
Right.
So,
I mean, like that failure part of the journey is necessary. And
right.
I think that's what draws me towards this idea of a podcast that deals with online marketing and why it's so dang hard. It's a learning curve for everybody. Nobody gets it right all the time. And I'm really excited to hear from some of our guests about, hey, tell me about a time in the past where it was working and then it stopped. And what'd you do? Right. I love getting into those weeds.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then I mean, even with the people who are successful that we interview on the podcast, those people have a difficult story as well to be where they're at as well today. So a lot of things, what were those weeds? What was a pivot or a moment in your life that changed the game where you were going from doing terrible to being successful in your industry with your craft, with your skills, with your people?
Yeah.
So those are things we're looking to unpack here.
Yeah. I mean, so I think,
And failure.
yeah, success and failure for sure. And I think some of that's born out of our compassion, um, right? Just truly loving people and wanting to partner with them to see them succeed. People have done that for me. It's probably the only reason that I'm successful to the degree I am today is that somebody came alongside and took pity on me and said, "Hey, do you need a partner?"
Somebody has to have a hero in there. Like the hero has to have a guide. Somebody has to come alongside you, whether it was someone in your family or a mentor or somebody that you sought out because I'm like, I need help. Like I need somebody to show me the way. Like, what does that look like?
I mean, it's funny, you talk about the hero needing a guide. Have you thought about it recently that the character, like the main character in all the stories that you love, when you first meet them, they're pathetic. They really are. They're terrible. They don't know what to do. Frodo is this shy little hobbit who has never left the Shire, and you're like, yeah, this kid's gonna die along the way. Like this is never gonna happen, right?
Right, right, right. No, it's not going to happen.
Harry Potter was raised by Muggles. Like, there's no way he could be a wizard. Why are y'all making him the main character?
Luke Skywalker, I
Oh,
mean, he's just Tatooine, and he's just like, I didn't even know I have a purpose, and redeeming my father's purpose to actually
yeah.
restore.
I'm
Like,
just gonna go work on these moisture evaporators
yeah.
and old age. Like, you meet the character and you're like, man, I don't know if you can make it, right? And I
I don't know if
feel
you can make it against an empire.
that's right. I feel that though, right? Like I am.
Yeah. I mean, and in a real sense, it's kind of how I feel today with our market, current market. It's almost like you have this empire that's like you feel like it's against you, and it's like, oh my goodness. Like
Blooming
I
evil
feel
every
like the
away,
hero right now, but I don't feel like a hero. Like
right?
I could get there, but I'm definitely not there right now.
So the Revenex podcast, we're here to. We're not perfect, and we're still figuring stuff out. But
Yes, we are.
I'm looking forward to interviewing some people and just saying, all right, tell me what's going on, get to the bottom of it. Tell me one strategy that works. Like what can our audience benefit from? So that clarity is what I want.
Yeah.
episode after episode. Give me something that disentangles the chaos and let me focus on one thing.
Yeah. And then it also brings out the creativity. Like what are the different things that these entrepreneurs or these people have done businesses have
Right.
applied.
That's right.
Um and that's the thing, continuous learning mindset, a mindset to learn and apply new ideas as they come about. So we get to hear about their creativity as well.
And man, that's my heart. If there's one word that resonates with me, it's creative. Like
Creative. Yeah.
I can't stand it when I hear somebody advocating a stale, dead methodology that it's just it worked in the '80s and we're still holding on to it, and I just can't. So, but at the same time, I don't want to go so crazy that I'm adopting some strategy that some guru online says is the best thing since sliced bread, and it just doesn't work, right? So
Yeah.
how do we know the difference? Let's hear from some people who drank the guru Kool-Aid and said, "Oh yeah, those guys don't know what they're talking about."
They're too far-sighted on the guru side, or they're too like, oh, we just got to do things the way we've always done them. And
Right?
it's kind of it's interesting. I heard one time when I was in college, we were watching an episode about what novelty is
Mm.
specifically. And
Hmm.
novelty, the guy on the TEDx talk that was talking about it was it's a mix of surprises, but also mixed in with something that you, as the viewer consumer, understand and know. So it's a combination of not just, oh wow, something completely new, but it's something new in a way that you've never seen it before with something that you're familiar with. So
Yeah,
familiarity, but also surprise.
yeah. All right, so we got to talk about one other piece of why we thought up this podcast: villains. And
Yeah.
I think there are two villains that were like if the listeners could lock into this idea, two villains that we just wish we could defeat permanently. Number one is bad marketing agencies,
Yes.
right? Like those folks who they've got a cookie cutter and they think it applies to everybody. Like that is not what we want to advocate. But on the other side, it's the YouTuber with a great camera who knows everything and is just spouting off the next thing that's going to get followers and likes and ratings. I'll be honest with you, I'd be okay if there were only three people who ever found this podcast helpful and subscribed, and if we could help
Me too.
three.
Me too. Even if it's just one person,
That's right. That's right.
one person,
Amazing.
one person helping somebody.
That's totally right. And so that's my heart is if I could shut down every bad marketing agency in the world, that'd be amazing. And if I could somehow figure out a way to filter out all the nut jobs on YouTube and TikTok who think they have the next amazing business coaching advice, like go away. So
20-year-old. It's like you don't have even life experience. You might be a millionaire, but you don't have life experience to back that up with.
that's right. So I'm a 40-something-year-old, and some days I don't feel like I know what I'm talking about, which is why I want to interview people. Like let's bring real world business people onto this screen and say where have you messed up, like what's not going well and why, and then what have you done really well? Like tell us what vein of gold you found and how'd you get there and who'd you use to help you. Like let's just hear story after story after story of people who are willing to open up and say, "Hey, this is hard, but it's worth the fight, and here's what we figured out." Like that
Absolutely.
would be awesome. And so our listeners just need to know we're not after fame and glory here. You're not going to hear some 7-step program to perfection in digital marketing. Like this is where we're going to talk about what might work and be creative with that, but bring a lot of compassion to walk alongside that journey.
Yeah, we just want to promote authenticity and how we approach this podcast. I mean, we're like, like we said, we're not perfect. And I think there's a freedom in that freedom in knowing that you're not perfect. And even a freedom as a listener to know that you don't have to be perfect in order to start moving towards success. Your
No, no.
failures can be a launching pad for success. But the thing is, like, you get to be yourself. You get to learn from the mistakes that you make so that you can be successful. And that's what we're doing. We're bringing people along to come on this podcast as guests and to just hear their authentic story and their success stories and their failure stories.
Yeah, it's really good. And so if if you're listening and we've not lost you yet, would you go ahead and just subscribe to the channel so that you can track with us? Um, if you've ever felt like some lame marketing idea took you hostage, stole your money, the person who was advocating it just wanted a transaction, they were terrible at their craft, they didn't know what they were doing, never communicated with you about where things stood and what you were trying to do. You didn't feel like you had any clear path of onboarding. Like, how do I become part of this clientele? Like those are the things that we're here to push back against. If anything, we hope that you get something helpful, that it's clear, and that we can be some part of telling that story too. And so if you start listening and you find some fantastic idea and you implement it in your business and it works, we'd love for you to be a guest. Like, will you reach out and just tell us, hey, can I come share?
Seriously, seriously. I mean, I remember there were times where I did that and I was doing it with my friends. My friends were so excited when I was able to invite them on my podcast or my Instagram lives or anything like that. And it was pretty cool when I was able to do the same thing for them as well. So yeah, literally, I mean, we're looking to interview anybody and also to help you guys get through these nuggets of wisdom and from failures and successes to help you find leads of your own, leads online. That's really our ultimate goal here with the podcast is to be able to help you take your business to the next level. And we realize that leads is a huge part of that. Finding people that resonate with with your story or resonate with what you do, and finding a way to craft that in such a way so that that leads are like, yeah, I'm all in. So it turns into sales and it turns into more business for you.
Yeah,
So
man. So one last thing that I want to kind of hit on is um, we're we're not some distant miracle people. Like we have never set ourselves up as gurus. We have all the answers. In fact, I personally, I'm a homeowner and a husband and father of three in Columbia, South Carolina. There's nothing glorious about this place. It's not like I'm sitting on some beach in Barbados enjoying a Mai Tai and spouting
no.
out wisdom, right? Like, this is as real as it gets.
And
Um,
I'm in my early 20s, so I have a lot to learn in this process as well. But I enjoy being on podcasts with people, asking questions, learning what I can learn from them as well. So I enjoy that process.
Curiosity.
Yeah,
That's the genius that we're bringing here. We're just stupid curious and willing to ask any question of anybody who gets in front
that's
of a
right.
camera, right?
That's right.
And so I don't know. I want our listeners to hear out the gate. Um, we're not amazing. We're not fantastic. We don't have all the answers. We got lots of questions. And we are homegrown local people. Like I have a boring white office that I'm sitting in right now to film this, and it's not.
I'm sitting in my room right now.
There you go.
Yep.
Um, Gotta love it. What we do have is over 40 years, and if you combine the partners that we work with directly, over 100 years of experience combined in digital marketing. I started building websites back when HTML wasn't even called HTML 1.0. Like, it was literally just HTML. We just created HTML. And I would sit at my dad's Tandy 2000. This is 1994, and I would open Windows Notepad. This is before there was any like beautiful visual of Windows. This is Windows 3.1 with Notepad, and I would hand code HTML and create little buttons in Microsoft Paint and upload it to our private server so that I could view it in a browser. I've been building websites for longer than Joshua's been alive, and I'm still not great at it, right? I love things like WordPress and Wix and Squarespace that make it easy. But what we have is a long-standing, rich experience in digital marketing. I've watched it become what it is, and I'm still trying to figure out how to use it today to grow a business. So if that's you, if that resonates with you, you're going to enjoy some of these interviews.
For sure, for sure. And this is a little bit about my background too. Like I kind of began my journey when all the digital marketing stuff kind of became a thing. Well, the second wave of it, 2010, but then 2017, that's kind of when I began, and I began to be like, oh wow, like there's potential to like create courses online and to do Facebook ads, Instagram, social media ads, and that literally blew up in my face because it didn't ask the market for what it wanted. So
Oh, man. I,
yeah, then I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to reevaluate this one,
I,
but like
man, I literally tell people,
enthusiasm though of trying that. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be successful, and I was like 15 at the time, and
I tell people all the time, like I am not a marketing coach because I get it right all the time.
yeah.
I'm a marketing coach because I get it wrong a whole bunch. And as soon as I figure out what works, the internet changes around me, and what used to work no longer does, and it's time to innovate again. Right?
I mean, this year is one of those years where it is changing. It's
It is
changing again.
crazy.
So like,
So
but that's why we have the podcast. That's why we're here because we have people with experience that have gone through multiple waves of change. And the thing is, things change, but there's principles that continue to work despite that to help you get leads, to help you land more sales, to help you possibly 2x your revenue as well.
that's right.
So that's why we're interviewing people.
Yeah, it's really good. So welcome to the madness.
Mhm.
This is the Revenex podcast. You're going to basically hear from different people every week when we post episodes. So if you haven't done so already, this is my shameless plug. We're signing off. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next episode.